Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Typescript game engine series. Hopefully I'm live. Is this working? Let me just quickly do my whole audio test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that will do. That is fine. I'm sure someone can tell me if the volume needs adjusting. Right, so I have managed to get a couple of things done this weekend. Made a little progress off stream. Let me bring my music back. There we go. Yeah, got my cup of tea. So last night we worked on the reflection system quite a bit. So I haven't really done any work on that. That is working just fine. Oh, that's not working just fine though. Hang on. Yeah, I've got some problems going on here, which we'll get to today. But the point light, for example, does inherit the properties correctly, is basically what we worked on. So we have like a proper class-based reflection map now, which is nice, which will be handy for the editor as well. Like, you know, if I wanted to add every actor to this list to be able to spawn, I can kind of just read the classes that are allowed to be spawned and figure out which ones are actors, etc. How's it going, Lou the Coder? Welcome in. You're pretty quick off the mark tonight. I only just started, but yeah, so we're just going through. So last time, yeah, the reflection stuff got done. That all seems to be working pretty well. There is still the issue of the parent class can be set to something that isn't actually a U class, but yeah, it's fine. We kind of worked around that with a custom getter for the parent class. But as for the changes since the last stream, I have basically, I mean, the biggest one, which you potentially have noticed already, is I have changed the way the editor panel system works. It's now relying on an npm package called Docker View React, I believe. So that basically does a lot of what I was planning to write myself, but it does it kind of probably better than I would be able to. But that gives me obviously what we had before with the split panel stuff, but it also allows me to customize the layout, which is really cool, just through drag and drop. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all there is to that. I mean, you can have them tabbed like that, which is helpful. So yeah, that will be tremendously helpful. So I've converted everything over to use that new system. I haven't deleted the code from the old system because I'm not sure if I'll go back to that or not. But yeah, that's one of the big changes tonight. And it also, I think, has pretty much fixed the issue where we were getting like over scroll on certain components. It doesn't seem to be the case anymore. So in terms of your lighting, did you code your shadows from scratch, or they came with Three.js? They came with Three.js, the directional shadows. I'm actually having some input problems right now, which is going to be on the list to fix. But yeah, these shadows here are from Three.js. They're not particularly configured super well right now, but yeah, that's kind of already built into Three.js, which is handy. Yeah, so I did the Docker stuff, Docker View stuff. The scrolling thing I just mentioned. Oh, there was a small thing where you used to be able to scroll while flying around, like I'm scrolling right now in the viewport, to go slower. And it won't let me go negative, which is nice, because before you could invert your flyer controls by having a negative speed. And it also limits how fast you can go as well. And it also, before I didn't realize, but it was actually taking scroll input when you were like scrolling. I keep clicking on that post-process volume, which is keeps breaking it. I need to figure that out. But yeah, if I was like scrolling on one of these, it would be changing my fly speed essentially. So yeah, the one thing that I'm still probably gonna have to fix is the color picker thing. As you can see, is still pretty mucky how it's done. I think because it's trying to like overlay itself over everything, and it always does it down into the right. I'm thinking what I might do is when you've clicked into it, we just convert this palette here into the picker, so it like goes in line basically. But yeah, I haven't done that yet, so it's still a little bit busted, that part of it. Yeah, so I think what I want to quickly fix is, oh, you can also close and open panels. I should actually show some of the code for that real quick. So if I go to, a lot of it is kind of just hacked into the app right now. I'll probably have to fix, we'll have to fix and change some of this around. But I didn't quite get enough time today to fully sort of clean everything up the way I wanted. But essentially, it's similar to the system we wrote, except just more stuff is exposed. So like when the Docker view is ready, which is a component in here, we just basically add panels. And these panels are essentially just a component list of, I'm not sure why I have to map a name to a component, but it seems to be the way this works. So yeah, you just kind of give it the name of the component, and I mean, that's pretty much it. And then it handles the positioning and everything as well. So it's going to put the details panel to the right of the viewport, for example. And yeah, that's kind of that stuff. I can go into it in more detail if someone is particularly interested, but yeah, can actually probably just nuke that. Don't need that. But what I do want to fix first of all is, oh, actually, there was one thing. Yeah, point light helper I forgot to mention. So there's a new thing now where when I select an actor in the scene, there's some new callbacks that are taking place for when it is selected and deselected in the editor, which basically all it does is pipe that through to any scene components. But what I did is on the point light, that allows me to create one of these Three.js helper things, sort of views, and when the thing's selected or unselected, I basically show and hide the helper. Yeah, so that'll be handy for like on the spotlight, the sort of displaying the cone of the light, stuff like that. So yeah. Obviously this stuff will only show in the editor as well. When you're playing the game it won't. But we are still pretty far away from actually being able to hit play. Oh, I didn't know you could select like that. That's interesting. I'm not sure how I just managed to... Oh, I tabbed through it? Okay. That's weird. So these are focusable. That's all right. But essentially what is happening is so I can select different things, it's fine, but as soon as I select this post-process volume, everything breaks and I can't select anything now. Like it won't, I guess I won't deselect this. So I quickly need to fix that. What I want to do is have a quick look at the post-process component, because potentially, not the post-process component, what is it, the volume, post-process volume. is a volume actor. Yeah, I think this might be why. No, so we do set the owner. So I'm actually not sure what the problem is there, so I guess I'll have a quick look at the viewport. Is this a Minecraft song, or is this... For some reason this is gonna be Minecraft vibes, this song. Let's see, so let's look into a line trace. And if I click here, what do we intersect with? I think we're intersecting with the helper. Editor transform gizmo widget. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty sure we can bypass that. That's the transform plane. This is some random mesh. Then owner of box components. Yeah, so we should be selecting this. What the heck is going on then? We're trying to push... Yep, the post-process volume, that's correct. And then we're returning that, okay. So, I mean, that looks like it is actually working then, so what are we getting here? Hit.actor is the post-process volume. Which is not, so that's fine. Then we set the selected actors, we go through selected actors and we call deselect on the post-process volume. Then we filter out, we're filtering it out of the array potentially. Yes, I think we are. Allow editor selection is true by default. It is true by default, so it shouldn't. Selected actors for each. This is actors.forEach. Wait, we're not getting into this function now? No, we are. Step over that. Oh, are we hitting like an error or something? I think that's what's happening, is it? Yeah, okay, my bad. I should have looked at that first of all. So click on that, let's see what the errors are. Scene component deselected in editor is not a function. What do you mean it's not a function? Is it because... Let's have a look at the viewport one more time. Oh yeah, no, we do for each through it, so it should be fine. I mean... What is this coming back as? Yeah, it's not gonna tell me. essentially this I think is null, but because we're for eaching through it, I would have thought it would be fine. Like just as a test, if I do if actor is not undefined, I shouldn't really need this code, I think. No, we are still getting the problem. Deselected in editor is not a function in the actor, wasn't it? Scene components. So essentially, it's basically telling me that there is no functions deselected in editor on this, which is weird. Yeah, right, which there isn't. Why? Does it get stripped? Is that what's happening? This is a scene component. It is a box mesh. Or sorry, it has a box mesh on it. Oops. Two-sided is true. It's owned by the post-process volume. Makes sense. Player, constructor, prototype. Yeah, okay, so to me it looks like what's happening here is potentially because this function isn't implemented, it doesn't exist. Like you see how all these other functions have stuff in them? Oh god, whatever that was, that's probably not helping actually. Some random so does that mean Vite actually strips it then? So I guess what would I put in here then? Like, how do I just, like... I don't really want to throw an exception or anything, throw an error. Like, this feels like not what I need to do. Actually, no, we are calling super in here, so it's probably not that either. I thought maybe this was never getting called, but let's see what happens now. Scene component 137. What is going on? Did I spell this wrong or something? No? Alright, let me put some logs in. Logs component deselect. And then scene component, wherever it is, deselect. I guess I could make these maybe abstract. Alright, so we get errors on that. If I click something else, we also get errors. If I refresh everything, and click something else, we don't get errors. Click something else, we don't get errors. This is fine. That's just, yeah, that's fine. And then I click on this. What am I screwing up here? I guess this is not, maybe this is not the way to do it, so it... Maybe I thought I wouldn't have to do it like this, but... That is way too long of a line, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, that's fine, I can do it like that. I guess this just converts it anyway, even though it's not. Like, it kind of, like, the cast basically works, even though it is not really working, I think is what's happening here. That's fine, we can do it like that, which is good, all that. Not sure why billboard component thinks it's been changed. So yeah, this is all good. Not the CS, go back to this. So selected actors, yeah, so I in fact don't, I believe, need that. Okay, we're good. I'm just going to disconnect this because we're getting like a weird flicker when I select stuff now because of breakpoint. Yep. This is on my list as well, and it might be what we tackle next, is that the layout is no longer saving, but I will get to that in a minute. But yeah, this is basically working again now, I think. It seems to be anyway. Yeah, what I might do then is, well, commit the fix for that. before we get to this editor stuff, there's a couple of other small tweaks I want to make real quick. Let me make sure everything's all good over here. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. So one of those small tweaks is I want to basically move, if I go to like some sort of component like point light, might have it. Did I close the point light? Alright, you know what? Everything closed. Point light, component. This stuff I want to move to a component, to the scene component, because I keep forgetting to do it. So what I'm thinking is basically in the scene component, when I guess it's during like basically I think it's going to have to be a begin play event, even though I need to change this to not be begin play. We just need to get the root object and then set the owner property, I think. And hopefully that will get the this of the child class, which I think it will. Cannot read properties, get render mesh. Sorry, what? Get render objects. Right, that's slightly a problem then. So if we look at the static mesh component, for example, what it's I think complaining about is that in begin play we call super, which is the code I was just showing you, before we actually add it to the scene. I mean, that should still be set though, shouldn't it? Yeah, because this is on construct. Mesh. We do latent stuff with this. Bugger. Okay. Static mesh is set here. No, so yeah, so this should be fine then. It reckons this is returning null though. The render object. But it should be returning this. I guess that means it hasn't got a static mesh set yet. Oh, dang it. This is a little trickier than I thought then. Well, I mean, to get this compiling, I guess what I can do is do it like this. No, that's not even enough to get it compiling. Cannot read properties, reading get render mesh. Static mesh component line 31. Oh, because the static mesh isn't set. Well, how about this then? If I change the way this works, might be a better approach to this whole method, because otherwise, yeah, otherwise it's going to get a bit iffy. So in the scene component, I guess what I can have is like a add to world or something. And I guess return nothing, and then move from render scene. And it's kind of just gonna do this stuff essentially. So we grab the world. If the world is not undefined, which I don't even know if this can be. Oh no, it can be undefined. Okay, then we add in. What does this take? Render object, let's call it, which is going to be an object 3D, and same here. And let's see, now we just do that. Okay, so what we have now is a way to, when things get added to the scene, we can essentially tag them at this time. So render object owner equals this, and that should do it. So essentially anywhere we're doing basically what we're doing here, we want to just do remove from render scene, and then it looks like we just add it straight away for some reason. Add to render scene, the same thing. I guess it's just to update it. Okay, and like here in begin play, for example, begin play, for example, most of the time what we want to do is if let's see, this stuff get wait, is this in the actor component? Oh yeah, I went one too deep, so we want to stay here in the scene component and do it in here somewhere. So do super it, and then we can say add to render scene. Let's start get render objects. We're actually gonna check that first. Supposedly it can't come back undefined, but I'm sure it probably could. We can just go ahead and add it there if it can be added. And then I guess in play we can just by default handle adding it as removing it as well. Yeah. What is the problem? Static mesh component is continuing to whinge. Yeah, I guess the problem is this function can't return null. Which is problematic. How am I going to handle this? Basically, I need to check this first. If it's not undefined, then we can go ahead and return it. The problem is, if it is undefined, then what do we return? Because we have no render object now. Maybe just... No, because that's going to pollute the scene. Shoot. Okay. Like, how bad is the refactoring tools on this? Because it's going to be pretty brutal. Change the return signature on it, but I guess it needs done, so let's go scene component. Where are we at? Get render object, needs to be an object 3D, or it can be undefined. Can it be undefined? Yeah, that's fine. Do we actually look? Let me think this through one more time, because I'm not sure if I actually want it to be able to not exist at begin play. Yeah, I think I do want it to exist at begin play. Unfortunately. So that means I do need to do something in here. Basically the static mesh. Why is the static mesh not ready yet is the weird thing. Because that is... Oh, it's because we set. And we don't do any of this in the constructor. Okay. Well, this is... This is achievable then. So if I look at the static mesh actor, we just add a component, and I guess it's in the world. It's because I hacked together this test cube actor. Okay, so static mesh component, I guess I'll need to do something like when it constructs, I need it to ideally have a static mesh. There's something gross about this whole thing. Let's see. I think because this is this can be changed, this object, and I might need to do this with some others of them. Root object. I think what I'm going to do is have a proxy object that sets one transform level essentially higher than the the mesh. The other option is I can just give it a static mesh by default, which honestly maybe that is the better approach. I don't know. If I did that, it would be like static mesh from box or something. And the material can be new basic material, something like that. Method not implemented. Camera component get render object. Yes. Right. Maybe this render object stuff that I'm doing is not sort of the right way to go about this. That's probably the case. Camera component wants a render object, huh? I guess I'll just give it a 3D object for now. So I think I'm running into my first sort of architecture regret. But that's fine. We can refactor stuff. I just can't refactor everything at the same time. Okay. So what is this? What is this object in the middle here? Oh, I know what happened. So with the static mesh components, it's because I create the object and never remove it from the 3D scene. So I think I actually do want to do what I was saying before by having a proxy object set above it, and the proxy object is the actual render object. What I actually want to be doing is this, by the way, I think. Remove the existing thing from the scene, then add the new one, yeah, and that cleaned it up. But yeah, it cleaned it up. But I still probably do want to do this proxy thing, but I guess I will leave that for later. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what a static mesh should, like, component should be when there's nothing set. Well, maybe the architecture problem is that I'm forcing there to always be a render object for every scene component, when really it could not have one. But potentially what I could actually do then, maybe I won't do this just right now, but is have a default object 3D in here in the scene component that everything uses by default. That might be the way to do it actually. Yeah, anyway, so what should happen now is I should still be able to select all this. Yep. Let's have a look at the tests or like static mesh component. So I'm still marking this as owner. I should not have to do that anymore. And it should still work, yep. It actually doesn't really hurt if I do it. But, yeah. I should also put these in folders probably. So like all of these, billboard component, don't need it. It's basically one less thing to have to remember to do every single time I make a component. Because if I don't write that code, what happens... I also need to update these. What happens is I can't select objects basically. Get rid of that one. That is the volume. This is fine. Skylight component. Nope. Spotlight component. Static mesh. Yep. Okay, and that's all good. That's all good. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all of them. Yeah, because now what happens is the scene component basically auto sort of puts the stuff in the scene on begin play if it needs to. So I should go back through them one more time. But this time, I don't need to manually do this. Because it's done automatically now, which is just less code in here, which is nice. Box component. So we basically just don't need the begin play or the end play of this anymore. Directional light component. Same with. Wait, yeah, we do. We need this one because we added a secondary component, secondary thing, object. But we should use the function we made. So add to render scene. This. Remove it from the render scene. Editor transform gizmos as an actor. The component, however, is a little bit of a special case, so I'm going to leave this one alone, I think. And plus, I never really select it. I think even these I don't need, right? Yeah, no. That's nice. Mesh component. Point light is already done. Post-process components, done. Skylight components. Spotlight. Static mesh. So in theory, I don't need that, potentially. No, okay, good. Alright, this is slowly getting cleaned up, which means I don't need this whole method, actually. Code is looking a lot cleaner now. I think that's all of them. That's all of them, cool. Let me do a tiny little bit of testing. make sure I can select and move everything. We got an error just then on the post-process volume. It's just details component stuff, that's fine. This works, and the light works. Yep, light works on that. This works. Okay, everything is good. Aside from this error, but that's a different thing. So let's get this committed. Okay, the next thing I want to probably do, this might just end up being a little bit of a cleanup episode, but the next thing I want to do is get this editor layout saving again. So I have these buttons, but I've changed my system now, so I need to update those buttons to do something else. So the toolbar has this for saving layout, and there's basically this documentation for the not plugin, but what do you call it, the package I'm using, and I haven't read through how to do this yet, but okay. So it looks like if I do this and then hard refresh, it'll remember. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, that's pretty simple then. So API.toJSON and then set the data in the layout. Okay. And I might not even need to manually do it, but might be a good idea. So an app. I might have to make this a global scope, or maybe we should just do it the way they suggest, actually, where just like anytime I change it like this, it saves the layout. Yeah, we essentially do a use effect. That's cool. So and we can just make that nothing by default, right? Yeah. Nope. We need a specific type. How's it going, Shaik? Welcome in. Nice to see you again. API. What the heck is this complaining about? Type void. Why am I not allowed to use states? It's not imported, that's for sure. It's because I'm using the wrong keyword, damn it. There we go. So now when we're on ready, we can do set API to event.api. And now we create another use effect. And we'll listen to the API, and when the API changes, it looks like basically we just set up our bindings. So on did layout change, so every time the layout changes, which I'm not sure if this is exactly what we want or not, but it works for now. the layout is API.toJSON. And that pretty much serializes it right there, and then I just put it in local storage. I know I store something in local storage already, so let me... I think it's in the editor. Yeah, basically the same stuff. This system is basically the old system, which we don't need anymore. Come on, back to app. Is that where I was? Yeah. Ed layout, we'll set that to the layout data. Nope, why am I not allowed to do that? Oh, we have to stringify. Really? JSON stringify it? I kinda thought that's what this function already did. No, it just returns an object. Ah, okay, that's fine. Cool, so that should be saving, now where do I see that? Memory? Sources? Trying to remember where I see my local storage. Application? Yeah, that's it. Application. Local storage. And id layout, let's delete that key, and then if I move this around, we can see it updates with some new data here. Yeah. So now basically what I need to do, because when I refresh that's gonna lose it, I need to load it by default. So let's have a look at their page for that. Yep. Okay, so essentially it's just in the onReady. Probably want to move this to a different function, like that. API is possibly undefined. Yeah, I suppose it would be. I guess only do it if it's there then. So this method will reset the layout now. But what I want to do is const layout equals local storage dot get item id layout, and then it's pretty much just an if check, right? If it's there. They do it in a try catch for some reason. Guess that's fine. So if there is a layout, try catch an error. And to load it, we do okay, well, I guess this is layout data. layouts equals json.parse layout data. That will give it back to me in object form. Yeah, event API from JSON. Okay, cool. That is any, but I know that is going to be this. Yeah, and then we just set the success. So actually, that's a good point. If I do it up here. True. And then if we get to the all the way to the bottom here and we have not loaded the layout, loaded layouts, then we just want to reset the layout to default. And it's const, so we can't do that, of course. There we go. So now if I refresh, keeps the layout. If I close it and run again, should keep the layout again. Yeah, beautiful. And for example, if I was to, I don't know, move the outliner to this side, content browser here or something, some other weird layout, and close. It's actually kind of nice having it save constantly when I change it, because it means I never actually have to hit save. Yeah, load it back up and it loads just fine, which is good. Let me make sure it loads with a double up like this as well. Yep, loads just fine. Cool. Well, that was some pretty good progress, I feel like. Everything is coming along. What I kind of was hoping to get to today was a little bit of content browser stuff, but I'm not sure if I will get to that or not. We'll see. Let me commit. And go and grab a glass of water and go to the bathroom real quick, and I will be right back. Hopefully the audio is okay. So I think dump render scene. What I'm thinking would be nice basically is let's see if we can get this actor menu working. I guess. And then I might look at a little bit of content browser stuff, but I also need to do project management at some point, which makes sense to do before assets because you know, I need to target like a you know, your project folder for the assets, not like just some random engine folder. But I might be able to make it happen anyway, so yep. Let's see. So if I'm gonna do the actor spawn menu, which would be nice because right now I can't actually delete any objects or anything. That's right, we need to do the undo buffer as well. What I need to do basically is in the toolbar, let's see, where is it? Right here we spawn a cube. This needs to support any actor class that's a U class, essentially. So what I need to do is find all the actor classes and make sure they are U classes. So like this, for example, definitely should be a U class, the main actor class of everything. And then I kind of just want to find the implementations of this. Can I do that? All implementations, here we go. So billboard actor, no, not class, U class. And directional light. It's weird how sometimes it picks the wrong one. Okay, edit a transform gizmo. Obviously, we're going to want pawns to be U classes as well. Point light actors. Post-process volume. Wrong one. Skylight actor. One thing I might do at some point is write a custom VS Code extension to help like expose some of this metadata in the editor. Might be nice. How to make VS Code transparent. If you get it's a extension called Glass something. Glass VSC. Looks like there might be some other ones, but this is the one I use. You can basically raise and lower the alpha. Was it Control Alt Z and C? Yeah, well, that opens everything, but yeah, that's how you do it. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Ali Osman. Nice to have you here. Find results. Spotlight actor, static mesh actor. No problem. It is quite handy to be able to see behind, so I can, you know, especially for this live updating web stuff, like I can see stuff updating underneath my code, which is pretty helpful. And it looks kind of cool. The cylinder, man, I got a lot of classes here. The transform gizmo, I don't know if this should really be a thing, but edit a viewport pawn, again, this shouldn't really be spawnable necessarily. But we'll mark it regardless. And the the world. Okay, cool. So that should be all of them. So now if I F12, we should be loading all that stuff into, yep. Very good. Yeah, and I'm going to need to do a function here because I need to, like, technically the components are also U classes. So I only want to show stuff in this list that eventually inherits from actor. So yeah, but there we go. I'll commit that. You know what? I won't commit it just yet. Do a little bit more. So in the toolbar, spawn cube. We want to do something like window.editor. I guess just reflection actually. Reflection dot get classes dot filter. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to be doing this in here necessarily, but I'll do it for now. Class, and basically we need to return whether this is allowed to stay in the list or not, and it's allowed to stay in the list if it's validated and I think this might already check validation, does it? Yeah, it does. We don't really need to check that then. We just need to check that uClass dot like inherits actor essentially as the syntax I want. So no, is that maybe it is child class of actor, yeah. Okay, so this is a U class, right? That's a U class array, yep. So inside U class, I want to add that method, which I called is child class of. And we'll make it a template of t extends It's a good question. What does this extend? Object, I guess. Right, and just to test, that would be now like this dot is child of, and I could put like actor here, right? No. Class T. U class T. There we go, and then is child class of, that's good, and then we'll return a boolean. Okay, this will be good. So pretty much now what we need to do is, there's a question here of, does the actor class, is actor class a child of actor? And I guess the answer is no. So U class, what? Is it subclass of? Is that what I'm looking for here? Maybe I want it like this then. I'm just trying to get it so the syntax is what I want here. So it'll be is child class of like actor, for example. What I would want to have happen is object dot constructor dot name is the name of this class. So make that a variable. And now reflection dot find class, or yeah, get class by name, class name, and it doesn't like me using the word class, so we'll use uClass. And then if, actually let's type this. If uClass, if it does exist, then we're going to say, well, let's start with the other case. If the class doesn't even exist by name for some reason, then it doesn't inherit from it because it doesn't count basically. Otherwise, we're going to let the parent be uClass.parent class, and then while parent is not equal to undefined and parent is not equal to null, we want to do some stuff and then set parent to parent.parent class. So basically we're going to walk all the way up the parent tree until we get to the top, and we actually enter, no, we don't enter an input loop here, that's fine. But what we do want to say is if the parent dot, have I got like a name here? Wait, can I just access? Why can I access that? Isn't that protected? Oh, I'm in uClass right now. Right, of course. So if the parent name is equal to oh, I see, I've messed up this logic pretty bad. Okay. Okay, class. Let's call this ancestor class, and this, we already have the name because we're in the freaking class already. Oh, but this is the ancestor class name. There we go. VC Cooper, wow, what you're doing is so lit, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a shame the editor is currently in a state of not opening right now. I don't know if you've seen any of the other videos, but I can quickly comment this out and show you a little bit of what we're doing potentially. Yeah. So yeah, Typescript 3D game engine built with WebTech. day, actually, damn it, I forgot to change the day number. It's actually day 13. Let me change that. There we go. But yeah, we're slowly getting there. This is about as far as we've gotten so far, just a few actors and obviously transform stuff and whatever, lights and things like that. But what I'm working on now is trying to get this actor menu up here to show me a list of all of the actors that are kind of like in the engine. And I'm doing that using a custom reflection system, which we've been working on for a couple of days now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm almost done with it too. I just realized I messed up a lot of this logic that I need to redo it. This is going to be incredibly unhappy for a second. While I get this logic right. So this function doesn't exist, which is part of the problem. But let's just pretend it does for a second. So that's the ancestor class. Let's use a guard clause for this. If ancestor class is undefined, just return false because it's not a descendant, which means I can pull all this code out of here into this layer, pop that back, and yeah, so now we can say we're going to continue to walk the parent tree until it's undefined or null. And if we ever come across one where the parent, like that we've come across, is equal to the ancestor class we're looking for, then we've got a hit. This class is a descendant of whatever we pass in here. So hopefully that's not an infinite loop, but I think that's good. So now we just need to quickly implement this method. Get class by name. And of course we need to return false if we don't find something. Get class by name. Or just doesn't really matter where I put this, but it is going to be public. Ancestor class name. This is actually just going to be called class name. And it can be undefined, and essentially we're just going to return reflection dot registered classes class name, because this is the actual reflection registry right here. And now that I haven't got the other one, I actually can change this back to registered classes, which is a little clearer. Cool. So now we can get the spawnable classes are going to be all of the classes in the engine, as long as they inherit from actor. So then here we just do spawnable actors, go through and make a menu item for each of them. And does it know this is an actor? Oh, this is a U class actually. Spawnable class. Spawnable actor class. And because it's a U class, I actually have the name of it, which is amazing. So I can do except I don't expose the name. Just do name like that. Let's just do display name. I need to, sorry about all the bouncing around this stuff, but I've got to get all these helper methods in as I need them. That will be a string. That will return the name. Okay. Except I said display name, not name. Display name. And then we go ahead and spawn the thing, but let's just see if we can get this list populated. That's not a good start. It's populated with nothing, which means nothing past the test. So let me cause that to regenerate. Reflection before initialization, decorators. No, that is fine. What are you talking about here? I'll give it a hard restart. Right. No, it's not happy about this, is it? Reflection before line 13 and decorators. So it reckons reflection is not here yet. That does make a lot of sense. It could be a circular dependency. If it is, what I could do to get around that is let parent. Wait a second, I start at the wrong thing too. Just noticed that. But that isn't the bug, right? No. Yeah, so to get around that circular dependency, then I could just check the parent's name. Don't I have the constructor? Do I not? No. Okay. But the name is set from the constructor name, so if I do that, it should be fine. Is that enough to get this working? That could potentially not have been the issue all along, though. No. What do you mean used before it's... Okay, in that case, I would prefer to do it this way, where I do actually check a full object comparison rather than just the name. So it's definitely, let me just double check that it is definitely because of this. No, it's not. Okay. What is it? This? Must be. What have I done? Goodness. Okay. So it's this then. Yeah, it's this. It's too early to be accessing reflection stuff, I guess. Which is a bit weird to me. I would have... thought this would be fine. Create menu, where does that get called? too early. Well, what I could do then is maybe do a use effect for mounts, and that might let me get past this, although I need the data here. Okay. And we'll use state with ed menu. Possibly undefined. Is that still too early? Jesus, okay. Okay, what I'm gonna have to do is a bit of surgery then, if this is the case, to move this menu generation somewhere else. Otherwise, I just cannot access reflection this early. I do wonder why I can't, though. Like, because it's not that early, is it? Okay, well, the state is going to have to get moved to the editor anyway, I guess, because, or at least some of this stuff is. I guess I could just move this to the editor. Because it will change at runtime, essentially, is what I'm getting at here. Get spawnable actor classes. I'm not sure if the editor is the best place for this to live necessarily. What's going on here? Reflection. Filter. We just return that, and this should be that. Should it? There we go. So that will return a uClass array. Now I need to import uClass. Yeah. So our editor is back, nothing in the menu here, that's fine. I'm not sure if this is going to be early enough, but essentially what I was hoping for is window.editor.getSpawnableActorClasses.forEach, and then do some stuff. Hasn't broken on me yet. But also they're not there. Yeah. So I guess when this comes through, it's too early, essentially. Console log classes, refresh it, and yeah, an array of 0 elements. Okay, so reflection is probably going to need an event for on uClass registry update or something. New events. New U event. And we can just fire that basically anytime this is added to, which essentially is always where is it? Right here. So when we get to the bottom of this method, and that should be static. Then we want to invoke it, and the payload is just nothing. But what that means now, I think, is in the toolbar we can listen for that event to happen. I'm not allowed to use reflection in the toolbar, but in the editor I can. So I don't know, in the constructor of the editor, I guess, reflection dot on uClass registry update, add listener. Okay, and then I guess I need another wrapper here, which is a shame, but on spawnable actors updated. Another event, and that can basically change anytime this changes. And now what can happen in the toolbar, do I have a use effect here? Yeah, I do. Create, yeah, so when that happens we recreate the menu. But what I really would like on spawnable actors updated dot add listener. Okay, and then we can do this anytime it updates. What we want to do is set the menu to it's basically just the same thing again, honestly. Just update the menu, and that hopefully, no. Hang on, let me try to get my breakpoints working. We're close. A little more faff than I thought was going to be necessary, honestly. Nothing under here. The other thing I could do actually is just do it when I click it. That's potentially not a bad idea. And I guess that would be the thing, right? Right here. No, so I don't call it from there. So when we do that, we toggle as open, but we don't call any kind of callback or anything. There we go, now we do. So now what I could do is essentially generate this array . Essentially generate this array when I click the drop down, which probably makes a lot more sense, honestly, rather than doing it. Like, there's no need to generate it every time I register a class in the engine. It's only when I actually go to spawn stuff that it actually matters, I think. We could update it beyond that, but yeah. So now when this happens, I guess the first thing I would need to do though is actor menu dot clear items. So that we don't continue to double them up over and over again. Okay. And yeah, okay, so that comes out the other side, that's fine. So there we go, so we clear them, then we add them, which should mean, if I go right here, classes is empty. Okay, so there's also a problem in here, it looks like. So let me breakpoint these. This function's not even returning, huh? Because this is never returning. Reflection get class by name. Ancestor class name is not what we want. So it's actually just dot name. I don't need the constructor part by the look of it. It is kind of not happy about that though. Why can I not step over that? What the hell? Oh my god. Because I created an infinite loop, that would be why. As I was testing that function before. There we go. Finally we're away. Jeepers. That was painful. Let's just do that. We now have all the actors available in the list, all the registered ones that are actors, essentially. So that's good. So the last thing then is to actually spawn the thing. So before I was doing window editor to spawn that. But what we actually need is essentially a way to new one of these up. So I guess I need to jump back into uClass. We do get the constructor, so I guess we just need to save that. Equals the constructor. Public. uClass dot new instance, and essentially that's going to just return, or it's just going to call the constructor, so like that. And if I infer, no, it's any, not what I want. How do I do this? Like that? Is that terrible? That feels kind of terrible, but so that should be a new actor instance. Yeah, which should work. I guess I'm just kind of in charge of knowing what the type is here, which is a little bit gross, but that's fine. Anyway, we have an actual actor instantiated now, not a subclass. So we need to make a way to spawn those. spawn existing. Name string. And we pretty much just return the actual actor. There we go. Turn these into one function. Cool. And the name goes here. There we go. So normal spawning, but now also in the toolbar, spawn existing. And the name is just going to be just left default, I guess, like that. So hopefully now if I create a new point light, it does not work. Point light actor. This doesn't even get called actually. Ah, we're getting errors, that's why. Always forget to check that. Point light cannot be invoked without new. That is because I call the constructor without wait. Like that? Maybe that's how you do it. Nope, it is unhappy about that also. Okay, let me just Google this. New class, new instance, new. Is that really what I want though? Like, it's desperately trying to put those parentheses on. Okay. That worked, I believe. Yep, it did indeed. That's interesting. I can't see it behind. I wonder why that is. So yeah, that did work, but this is unhappy. How do I just make this shut up because it's working? This expression is not constructible. Let me look that up. Okay. So it'll let me new it up as long. Alright, so because I'm specifically saying it's a function, it's not happy, I see. Okay, that's fine. But now we're looking pretty good. So can spawn in a new point light. Everything is good. New spotlight? No? Oh yeah. Yeah, everything is looking good. I'm pretty sure 3JS is hating having this much lights all overlapping though. What else have we got in here? Some more cylinders. Cool. This is all working pretty good. Let me commit that, and then there's one more thing I want to do before I call it a day, I think. So essentially now what I want to do is when I've got one of these selected, be able to hit delete and delete the object. So viewport, I guess in the viewport is where I'll do it. Not really in the viewport, maybe just in the editor in general. Not sure what the key code is when I push delete actually. Let's find out. It is just the word delete. Let me actually just do a switch on this. And when we hit delete, I'll just make a helper function for it. Delete selected actors. And we can just call that function right here. Cool. And we just make sure this is actually getting called. If I hit something, push delete, we get a pop-up. That is good, is getting called. So for each selected actor, we want to go this dot world dot remove selected actor. And indeed that does not remove it. I guess we have to end play on the actor. Yeah, that kind of works. It's just delete. So in the editor, after we delete them, I guess we want to set or clear select set selected actors to nothing. Yeah, that works. Okay, so because I don't have scene serialization, every time I refresh, all the objects come back again. But this does mean I can delete stuff, which is very nice. Delete everything. These are on different time sinks by the look of it. That is interesting. Yeah, add directional light wherever that just got added. It does add it in kind of a weird orientation though. These shadows are messed up. Not entirely sure what is going on there. In fact, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, so I should be able to figure that out if I go to directional light component and add add editor, selected an editor. Do we still have the helper? We do. So when it's selected, we can go this dot light dot add helper, I guess. I guess I can add it to the light. Oh. Maybe like this then. No, it does still have some weird ass rotations. and an incredibly tight view frustum. So, I mean, I could expand that out, I think, can I? You know what, doesn't matter, it's fine for now. I'm not entirely sure how games handle it to where the part you're looking at is always covered by the light. You know, like if I look over here, ideally the light would be like this, I guess. I'll have to figure that out at some point, but I'm also not sure why it does this weird jiggliness when I move it. Or whatever. Some lerping going on somewhere. Yeah, the delete appears to work pretty well. There are some lag spikes going on. I guess that's just when these errors pop up though. Yeah, pretty good progress today, I think. So let's commit that. I think maybe next time I'll work on either scene serialization or the asset system or the project stuff. I think we're getting far enough along now where that kind of thing would be useful. I need to add like renaming here. Out of interest, what would happen? Let's see. JSON. There should be a build script here. Yeah, build win. We'll see what happens if I try to actually run a build, like a proper build. I don't have the highest hopes that this is going to work. Oh, it's mad about a whole lot of stuff. Okay. It's probably the stuff that this is yelling about, I would think. Do view properties here. I should try and clean these up as I go, but I always kind of just leave them. And world, what? There's an unnecessary import. We'll see if that builds. There might still be some stuff it's unhappy about, because I think it's pretty strict when you actually do the build. Let's see. Okay, so all of those things. Then we've got viewport settings. It's not happy about this, that's fine. It's not happy about this never getting used. And also all of these. Let's just comment it out then. And right, all of this stuff doesn't really need to be variables, I guess. Because I never do anything with the variables after. Oh, some of them I do. There we go. Okay, now let's try build. Cleared, but value never read here. Okay, sure. Surely that's the last one. Okay, it's building. Building for production. What does that say? Something about strongly discouraged. Whatever. Packaging. That sounds promising. And it puts it under dist, eh? Unrealistic engine setup exe under dist. Is it still doing stuff? Oh yeah, building block map, there we go. Now it's done, I guess. So I guess I just see if I can run this. Kind of can run it. What is the problem though? There's something. Maybe it's loading. All the reflection stuff worked. Okay, so we can't really build properly at the moment, which is kind of scary. What happens if I run it from here? Same thing. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix that next time. I just wanted to have a quick look. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching the stream. Thanks for tuning in. And I will catch you all in the next one.